You walk into your car. The air is still. No engine sounds, no sirens, just silence. Then you hear it. A high-pitched whine, distant but getting closer. It's not a mosquito, not a power tool. It's mechanical, deliberate, hunting. You look up. Nothing. The sound circles, probing, searching. And then you see it. A small quadcopter, the size of a shoebox, hovering 200 feet above the street. It tilts forward. The whine sharpens into a scream. It's diving, straight at you. You have 3 seconds, maybe 4. What do? Run? Hide behind your car? Pray it's just a hobbyist? Too late. The drone hits the pavement 15 feet away and detonates. The shock wave punches your chest. Your ears ring. Shrapnel pings off car doors like hail. This isn't science fiction. This is Ukraine, right now. And it's coming to a collapse near you. But here's the beautiful, stupid, life-saving truth. There's a defense that stops these things cold. It costs $5. It weighs nothing. And it's sitting in a dumpster behind your local hardware store because nobody in the West understands what it's worth. Let me show you how a piece of trash from the ocean floor became the most important piece of survival gear in modern warfare, and why you need to understand it before the drones start hunting in your neighborhood. First, let's be clear about what we're facing. FPV drones, first-person view drones, have turned modern conflict into a nightmare that looks like a video game crossed with a horror movie. These aren't the big predator drones you see on the news. These are cheap, fast, and everywhere. A basic FPV attack drone costs about $300 to build in a basement. You can order every part on AliExpress and assemble it in an afternoon with a screwdriver and a YouTube tutorial. They're small, maybe 10 inches across, 4 propellers, a camera, a battery, and an explosive charge. Sometimes a hand grenade duct taped to the frame, sometimes a pound of C4. The pilot sits miles away, wearing FPV goggles, seeing exactly what the drone sees in real time. They fly it like a racing drone, weaving through buildings, under bridges, straight through windows. And when they find their target, a soldier, a vehicle, a person walking to their car, they point and dive, kamikaze style. One drone, one target, one explosion. Then the pilot picks up another controller and launches the next one. In Ukraine, Russia launches about 2,500 of these things every single week. Not months, weeks. That's more than 300 drone attacks every single day. And they're not just hitting soldiers, they're hitting civilians, roads, markets, hospitals, playgrounds. Just last August, FPV drones killed or injured civilians more than any other weapon, more than missiles, more than artillery. 58 dead, 272 wounded from small drones. And here's the nightmare. They're almost impossible to stop with traditional defenses. You can't shoot them down reliably. They're too small, too fast. An anti-aircraft missile costs $50,000. You don't waste that on a $300 drone. Jamming works sometimes, but the Russians figured that out. Now they're using fiber optic cables, physical wires that trail behind the drone for miles like a kite string. You can't jam a cable. It's unjammable. So what do? How do you stop something that costs nothing, flies everywhere, and can't be jammed or shot down? You use a fishing net. I'm serious. Fishing nets. The same nets fishermen use to haul cod out of the North Sea. Old, used, retired nets that were heading for the landfill. Ukrainians are stringing them up over roads, around vehicles, across hospital courtyards, and they are stopping 90 to 95% of drone attacks. Not slowing them down, stopping them. Dead. Here's how it works. A drone stays in the air because 4 little propellers spin incredibly fast, anywhere from 5 to 15,000 RPM. Those propellers are everything. No propellers, no flight. It's that simple. When a drone hits a net, the propellers tangle instantly. The blades catch in the mesh, torque against the fibers, and jam. The motors scream, overheat, and stall. The drone drops like a rock. If it has an explosive payload, one of 3 things happens. It detonates harmlessly in the net. It detonates when it hits the ground away from the target, or the impact trigger fails and nothing happens at all. Either way, the target survives. The drone is neutralized.
And the net? It's still hanging, ready for the next one. The Ukrainians figured this out fast. They started with camouflage nets, then realized fishing nets worked even better. They started asking for more. Fishing nets from Sweden, tulip nets from the Netherlands, salmon nets from Norway. Europe started shipping them by the hundreds of tons. 400 tons from Sweden alone. 280 kilometers of heavy-duty nets from French deep-sea fishermen. All of it heading east, to be strung up along the roads of death. One Ukrainian officer put it simply, fishing net will hold it. It simply stops it. Even the big ones, Lancet drones, Russian loitering munitions that carry kilograms of explosives and hit speeds of 90 miles per hour, get caught and stopped cold. The net doesn't care how fast you're going. Momentum works against the drone. The faster it hits, the deeper it tangles. So, let's get tactical. Here's how they're actually using this. The most common setup is the road tunnel. They drive poles into the ground every 30 feet along a road, about 13 feet high. Then they string the net across the top and down the sides, creating a tunnel. Cars drive through, drones slam into the mesh and die. Miles of these tunnels now run through the Donetsk and Kherson regions. Soldiers say it's easier psychologically. You're not scanning the sky every second. The net is overhead. You're covered. For high-value targets, they build vehicle cages. They mount nets on metal frames about 3 feet from a truck or ambulance on all sides. It looks ridiculous, like a car wearing a chain-link poncho. But when a drone hits, the explosion happens outside the cage. The blast wave dissipates. Shrapnel embeds in the net, not the vehicle. People inside survive. There's a documented case. Nets donated from Sweden were installed on a vehicle, and just days later, a Russian FPV drone attacked it. The net caught the drone, the explosion was absorbed. Everyone inside lived. And for static protection, hospitals, power stations, markets, anything that can't move gets covered. Poles go up around the perimeter. Nets stretch overhead like a circus tent. They're destroying up to 95% of the drones Russia launches at those areas. Think about that, a 95% interception rate with trash nets from the ocean. Meanwhile, the U.S. military spends billions on radar systems that can't even see these things. The genius of nets is they exploit the drone's fundamental weakness, fragility. Drones are optimized for flight. They have to be light. The frame is plastic. The propellers are thin blades. There's no armor. If anything jams the propellers, the whole system fails immediately. A net doesn't need to be strong. It just needs to be tangled. The drone's own thrust works against it, pulling the net tighter. It's over in a fraction of a second. It's a perfect, passive, physical defense. It works even when the power's out and the radios are dead. So, let's bring this home. Let's say your city collapses, gangs are running the streets, and someone starts flying weaponized drones over your neighborhood. You build a net cage over your house, your yard, your escape route. Here's how. For materials, use any mesh with gaps smaller than 4 inches. Fishing net, cargo net, even that plastic deer fencing from a hardware store. Avoid nylon if you can. It melts from explosions. Polyethylene or metal is better. For the structure, you need vertical supports 10 to 15 feet high. Wooden posts, rebar driven into the ground, whatever you can find. Stability matters more than strength. Stretch the net tight between the supports. And if you're really paranoid, and you should be, layer 2 nets with a 2-foot gap between them. The first net catches the drone, the second catches the explosion. And camouflage it. Weave leaves and branches through it. A visible net says, someone valuable is under here. An invisible net just catches drones. Look, I know what you're thinking. This is war. This won't happen here. Wrong. Drones are everywhere. Police have them. Criminals use them to smuggle drugs over prison walls and scope out houses. It takes 0 skill to duct tape a firecracker to a quadcopter and fly it into a window. The barrier to entry is gone. The technology is cheap, accessible, and unregulated. When things fall apart, the people with drones will have a massive tactical advantage over the people without defenses, unless you understand nets. Ukraine is the testing ground. They're learning lessons in blood that the rest of the world will have to learn eventually. They've figured out that the highest tech threat can be defeated by the lowest tech solution. A phishing net stops 95% of drone attacks. That's not speculation. That's real-world, combat-tested, life-or-death data from the most drone-saturated battlefield in human history. You don't need a defense contractor. You don't need a government grant. You need 20 feet of net, 4 poles, and the willingness to look ridiculous until the day it saves your life. The drone age is here, and when collapse comes, whether it's war, civil unrest, or the grid just going dark, the skies will fill with cheap, deadly, autonomous hunters. The people who survive will be the ones who understand that a $5 fishing net is worth more than a $5,000 anti-drone system. String it up, test it, improve it, and when the wine starts circling overhead, you'll be under